Hey, what's up guys? It's Brennan from Gateway Defense. We are here in Conroe, Texas at BTO, and today we're going to be talking about competition setups and what you actually need to take your gear out and go shoot a USPSA match. Might not be what you think. There's a lot of different options and a lot of flexibility with the gear. So let's go ahead and dive into 3 different kinds of competition setups. So the very first thing that you can take to a USPSA match is going to be your concealment gear. That's right, you can take whatever you currently conceal carry with to the match, provided that the holster is a safe one. So generally you're going to need to have something that's made of Kydex that's going to protect the trigger guard, things like that. Standard safety holster equipment, but from there you're going to be able to shoot from concealment. So it used to be in USPSA that you couldn't take your concealment holster to the match. They changed the rules a few years back, and so now it is absolutely okay to run this. I know a lot of guys that will go shoot their local matches with their concealment gear because they want to test themselves and see how well they're holding up with their concealed carry gun. For me, my concealed carry gun, my teaching gun, and my competition gun are all one and the same. So what I've got here is just an M&P 2.0 from Smith & Wesson. This is the 5-inch model. I've got a Holosun 507 comp, an X300 turbo, and I've got magazines that have some base pads on them that hold +6. And then of course I have an Apex trigger in the M&P. They're pretty famous for being pretty awesome triggers, and that is the setup. So this gun will go from competition, teaching and concealed carry, and it'll kind of do it all. So I'm gonna compete in the division called Carry Optics, and this is actually a carry gun equipped with an optic, and so this is absolutely good to go for competition. One thing that I will recommend is that you definitely have some sort of mag carrier with you, whether that's going to be something that's attached to the holster setup like this one is, or if it's a separate one you're just going to stick in your waistline. I know some guys even throw an extra magazine in their pocket or two just to make sure they have maybe, let's say, 2 or 3 mags on board with them. But for most of the time when you're shooting a high division or a high capacity division like Carry Optics, where you can hold up to maybe 23 rounds, all you need is 2 to 3 mags tops. So concealment rig like this one, this is a tier 1 concealed Apex holster, good to go for USPSA. So the next option that you guys could potentially take to a USPSA match and start competing with right away is going to be something like this. So I've got kind of a more tactical style duty belt setup here. At the base, this is a Blue Alpha Battle Belt Light, and I've got kind of a more tactical holster. So I have a Safariland 6390 RDS holster on here. I have mag pouches that are made from Kydex from TRX Arms. I've got a med pouch on here, so I have my IFAK in the back here that just stays belt mounted all the time, and I have a dump pouch on here as well as a rifle mag carrier from Blue Alpha. So this thing is pretty much kitted out to be more, again, like kind of that tactical style or duty style setup. I oftentimes teach out of this rig, especially if I'm working with law enforcement or something like that. I want to run a retention holster. Same gun that I carry can just pop right into this holster right here. It locks in, and I have good retention there. And then down here below, I'm just running a TRX Arms thigh strap as well, just to kind of keep that holster from flopping outwards when I miss the ALS. This is a pretty simple setup. I think a lot of guys will have a belt kind of set up similarly to this already. So if you're running something in this style, you're going to be good to go. What I'm going to expand from the concealment option is adding a few more mag pouches. That's going to be just really convenient, right? So I like to run Kydex mag pouches, and I like to run mag pouches that can be angled. So you'll notice the mag pouches up here at the front are angled backwards away from me a little bit more. That just helps with getting a really good purchase on the magazine and helps me be really efficient so that my hands can go from the gun straight down to the magazine and I'm not having to reach behind me for magazines. I like to carry at least 3 mags on my belt. Generally don't need all of them, generally only need 2, but having a backup mag on your belt is fantastic. I've got some things that are obviously not essential to USPSA, things like a tourniquet, a Cat Gen 7 tourniquet. I've got another tourniquet in the back on the med kit as well. And of course I have the whole IFAK from Live the Creed. Obviously you don't need that at a USPSA match, but it's never a bad idea to have medical on hand or very close by. And so I would have no qualms about taking this out and shooting a match with it. And in fact, I have done so in the past. So if you have a belt like this, and that is kind of the main thing that you run, don't let that hold you back from being able to run out and shoot a match. This gear is going to be good to go. Lastly, what we have here is my USPSA belt, and this belt is pretty much dedicated to shooting competitions with. I will also teach out of this belt quite often, but this is designed specifically for USPSA. So what makes a USPSA belt so specific to the sport? Well, nothing really. I think it can mostly be summed up with the idea of having everything very streamlined. So I don't want to have anything on this belt that I don't need, nothing extra. I don't have medical on this belt. I don't have extra tourniquets. I don't have rifle mag carriers because USPSA is primarily a pistol sport, right? And I'm not going to carry 5.56 mags. So what I've done is I pretty much just boiled this down to the bare necessities, and I want to have things that are very adjustable and something that I can dial in to my specific needs. So let's start with the belt itself. The belt is from Howitzer. This is the Battle Comp belt. It's designed for competition or whatever kind of shooting you're doing. What I like about it is it's really rigid and stiff, so you can see that this belt kind of supports its own weight. Even with magazines and a gun on it, it's kind of holding its shape right here, right? So that's pretty nice, and that's going to support the weight of, again, 4 fully loaded mags and a full-size pistol. So that's going to help out quite a bit with keeping hot spots off of your waist and keeping your hips pain-free. Let's start over here with the gun. The gun, again, pretty much the same pistol, the M&P 2.0 from Smith & Wesson. This one is my dedicated match gun. So this one has an SRO, 5 MOA SRO on it. Of course, the Apex trigger, and that is, and an Apex barrel. So that's the only things I've done to this gun. Other than that, everything is just pretty much as it comes from the factory. The holster over here is from Hammer Armament. So this is the Hammer Armament Balder holster. It's a holster that's designed specifically for USPSA. A couple things you'll notice about it. Number one, I have a quick adjust retention knob right here. So that's great for kind of twisting down that retention, tightening it up. So if I have to run around, that is going to make sure my gun stays in the holster, because of course I don't have any active retention like I do on my Safariland. The other thing you'll notice is that it's cut kind of deep, so that is going to allow me to draw the gun and clear the holster a little bit quicker than coming all the way out of kind of a bucket style holster. So having that low cut is kind of nice, just gets the gun out a bit quicker. The hanger that it's on, this is kind of a crazy looking hanger, and it's got tons and tons of adjustment. We've got adjustment here, up top. We've got more screws here, more screws here. There's a ton of different options. Again, this is just built so that you can customize the holster angle precisely to how you want it. So you guys can see I have a pretty severe forward cant on my holster. The reason for that is just efficiency. I feel that as my arms are at my sides and they naturally come up, that just kind of matches the angle of my forearm. And so having it angled forward a little bit like that is just very ergonomic for me. And then of course you can adjust the ride height up and down. You can adjust how far it is tilted in towards you or out towards you, and so there's unlimited adjustment with this hanger. This hanger is from Henning Group, and it's called the T1000 holster hanger. So pretty expensive little piece of equipment, but definitely worth the money, and gives you a lot of adjustment if that's something that you need. Moving around to the front here, I've got a magnet. So magnets are something that we see a lot in competition. Most guys will have them on their belt. Pretty much what it is for any time we have a table start where we've got to start with, let's say, the gun and all of our mags on the table, right? I will probably go ahead and grab my gun, grab both the mags, right? I will throw one mag onto the magnet, take the other mag, and load the gun, right? And so it's just a little bit easier to try to throw the mag on the magnet versus trying to pick up both of these mags and then stuff one in the pouch, right? So I could just slap it on the magnet, load the gun, and we're good to go. And then I can grab that mag and reload from it later if I need to. So magnets are there for kind of a very specific reason, helps out quite a bit, but then I generally tend to just throw whatever mag I'm using during my range day or the class, just throw it there whenever I'm done. And also when I unload and show clear at the end of a match, I'll throw that mag there, and any mag that's on the magnet, I know that's a partially depleted mag, so I'll go back and reload those mags. The mag pouches themselves over here are pretty basic as well. They're just Kydex mag pouches from TRX Arms. I believe they're called the rag carriers. The way I have them mounted up is pretty awesome though. So I have each of these mounted to what are called Tech Mount Minis from Blade Tech. So this is just like a little disc that mounts directly to your Kydex mag carrier, and then it fits into a little receiver plate. So if you guys are familiar with Safariland QLS or ELS, this is gonna work pretty much the exact same, except that you're going to have almost unlimited amounts of adjustment. So right here you can see that there's a little half moon cutout here. I take that disc, I slide it straight in to the receiver, and you can hear it click in place. From there, you guys can see this mag pouch is straight up and down. Being in the front of my body, I want it to be a little bit more angled. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to push on this tab over here to the side, press it down, and then I can just move it in little increments just like that. So I can dial in that mag to be at the exact angle that I want. And then what you'll notice is as you move around my belt, you will see that the mag angle changes to be less and less canted, right? And actually this one is not correct. That one should be pretty much straight up and down, right? There we go. So as you move around the belt, each magazine is canted a little bit less and less because I'm having to break my wrist more to an upright position as I work around my waistline. At the back, the way I have this belt attached is I went ahead and chopped this belt down and kind of trimmed down the size, and then I added a ratchet and kind of a ratchet strap. So imagine the straps that you have on ski boots. That's pretty much the exact same thing. You can connect it and get that to start, right? And then you can just ratchet this and tighten the belt up to exactly how tight you need it around your waist. This is obviously a Velcro belt, so it's just gonna work with an inner Velcro belt that I wear on the daily. And this is pretty easy to throw on, get a bunch of work done, and obviously shooting matches with it is ideal. So there you go. That's the 3 USPSA setups that I have. If you've got something that resembles any of this, or you are thinking about putting together a USPSA belt, or you have any questions, be sure to let us know, and we will get those questions answered for you. Until next time, I'm Brennan with Gateway Defense. Talk to you guys later.